oh, sorry. Sequence is, you take 1 and 1, you make 2. The sum is 2. Take 2 and add it to the previous number, gives you 3. Take the sum and add it to the previous number, 3 and 2 is 5. Take the sum, add it to the previous number, you get 8. And it spirals out from that point, getting larger and larger in its spiral as it moves out from the center. Okay, so that's the sequence. We find it in trees. We find it in seashells. We find it in storms. We find it in art. We find it in music. We find it in the human body, some people's hair. We find it in galaxies. The same mathematical formula in most of creation. Even stock and commodity traders will base their trades on the Fibonacci sequence. See it there. People follow these mathematical sequences without even knowing it. So people that have figured it out go, these are Fibonacci levels, and if I base my trades on those levels, then it works, and it does. So people are following these mathematical sequences without even knowing it. We're not so independent and random as we think we are we? When we look at buildings, let's architecturally designed buildings, or pictures, say artwork, maybe Robert Bateman picture, or perhaps a book written by Shakespeare, or a song written by Randy Bachman. We can say, well, that's a Randy Bachman song, or that's a Shakespeare novel, or that's a Robert Bateman painting, or a Ryan Hoyt design, because we can see their personality traits come through in their art, can't we? Even though we may not have seen that picture before, we know that's a Robert Bateman, I can tell. So when we look at creation, we should expect to see some of the personality traits of our Creator come through, shouldn't we? I would think so. So let's have a look at that for a moment. Our Creator tells us that He has 4 major quality traits. The first one he describes in Jeremiah 10 and verse 12. So let's take a look at that together. 4 attributes. Jeremiah 10 and verse 12. It says there, He is the maker of the earth by His power. Okay, so one of His attributes is power. We should see power in creation. Do we? Well, think about our sun for a moment. Our sun is estimated to be able to burn for another 4 billion years. Yet it throws out 386 billion megawatts every second. And when you consider that 100 homes can have their electrical supplies met with only 1 megawatt of energy in a year, how much is 386 billion megawatts of energy? It's massive, eh? And that's just our sun. So take a look at this. This is UE Scuti. This is a sun that is so big, a star that is so big, it'll fill our orbital path 4 times. So our orbital path is 186 million miles across, right? 93 million and 93 million, 186. It'll fill it 4 times. It's massive. How much energy does that sun send out every second? Now think of the fact that we have between 2 to 400 billion stars in our galaxy, trillions of galaxies in the universe. How much energy are they throwing out every second? How much power is there in creation? Let's take a look at another attribute. Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 4.